Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to get your GPX on for the most un-GPX boombox you'll ever see in your life? Because you know how much I loathe GPX.
Digital.
Back up in your ass with the resurrection.
GPX! I clogged the toilet with the GPX!
Whoopsies.
GPX! So yeah, there's got to be something special about this one. So let's get started. Okay. Stereo, FM, AM, shortwave 1, shortwave 2. That's unheard of on a GPX to do shortwave. Radio cassette recorder. What? A tape counter? Are you kidding me? Let's back up. A tape deck that says logic control? Well, that's the only GPX-ism on this box. While it's not logic control, wait for it, this is a feather touch tape deck. So you heard me right, this is a soft touch or feather touch tape deck. It does say automatic stop, but that's it, and this is brushed aluminum. We'll get to the tape deck later. So coming over to the left. Wait, what? 20 centimeter speakers / 8-inch class speakers? And they're real? Yeah, they're real. What? 2-inch tweeters? Actual tweeters? When have you ever seen a GPX with 2 actual tweeters? And what? Are those fake or are those real? Yeah, those are real stereo microphones. This has stereo microphones built in. Coming over here, what's this? A power level meter on a GPX? Yeah. What bass and treble controls on a GPX? 1/4-inch headphone jack, power switch, and I'll tell you about the knobs in a minute. What? Chrome tape support? A filter? Auxiliary in? And a signal light? Another very un-GPX thing. The volume knob is notched, as in it goes up in steps. It clicks, just like I'm showing here. You can even hear it. Yeah. This is the Jumbo GPX model 992 from 1984. So, yeah. This was a recent eBay acquisition. It did clean up rather nicely compared to when I first got it. It's hard to tell what type of condition things are in or how well it's going to clean up. But I'd say it does look pretty damn good. And yes, it is a GPX. So back to the knobs. The underneath part is plastic, but the sleeves, the actual part that go over top, is rather thick aluminum. They actually have weight to them. So yeah, that's actual aluminum around those knobs and switches. The only other GPX-ism, and it's not really a feature boast, but it has one of those block diagrams, but hell, even Mitsubishi did that on their boomboxes. Okay, so yes, this is the most un-GPX GPX you'll ever see in your life. I mean, look at the size of the tape deck compared to the rest of the unit. You know this box is big. So yeah, it is unfortunate. It was a little bit rough when I got it. It cleaned up rather nice considering. And everything's there. But the thing is, electrically, I didn't have to do anything to it. And the tape deck, hardly anything to it too. You'll be rather surprised. So yes, it does have 2 antennas. However, it is a monopole, despite it having 2 elements. It's tied together in the middle here. I've seen some other high-end boomboxes and maybe even shelf stereos that do that too. You know, be monopole, ground plane. I tried looking up on the theory on a monopole antenna in this configuration, but couldn't find anything. But we'll move on from that. It does work well. Coming to the back cleaned up really nice. If you're wondering about the nameplate, it's actual aluminum. It had plastic film on it. I'm like, oh, I'll take the plastic film off, and that was a big mistake. Should have just left it on, but any other time, it comes right off and looks better. But on the back, let me see, you have external microphone inputs with remote jack. You have line level auxiliary in and speaker outputs at 4 ohms. Oddly, those are 1/8 inch jacks, so you will need an adapter to make those work. This is the only information on the back right here. And that's not really information, that's pretty standard. Has a beat cut switch, so yes, it is AC bias. And 120 volt AC in. I was expecting the battery compartment to be trashed, but nope. Just a little corrosion on the spring right there, but that's it. The rest of it's like brand new. It takes 8 D batteries, so it's a 12 volt system. Now that said, there's no UL identification on this. There's no FCC ID on this. And working through it, I have no clue who OEM'd it. It was made in Taiwan, but I don't know by who. I don't recognize even the components used. However, one thing you'll like to know about this, there is an AKA of this box called the ABA Jumbo MG6000. That's the only brand boombox with that name. And it is kind of special in that that boombox is in the movie Friday, as you can see right here. Except it's missing its outer tape deck door. So anyways, let's take a look at what I had to do to this thing. All right, getting my GPX on here. So the seller never powered up, said it doesn't work. I'm the first person to apply power to it. So let's see what we got here. I saw that in the pictures. Sometimes there's not much you can do, but we'll work around that. Amazing thing is both antennas are intact. This is actually aluminum. The knobs are actually metal. So let's see what we got here. Well, it definitely has actual tweeters. All right. Yep. Not turning the tuning dial at all. It's farting. Dirty controls. No, not getting anything there. High filter. Low filter. So I can't tune it. Picking up some station anyways. So, let's see. This is the tape it came with. It's vintage, obviously. Well, duh, but I mean, it's old tape. Sly and the Family Stone, greatest hits. And I hear a motor noise. It's trying. Tape counter belt works. Yeah. Despite that, some GPX-isms right there. Logic control. Missing a label here. That's okay. A lot of these are missing their door. So it's okay. We can work around this. This is probably just paint. So we'll try to get that off. All right. I think we're at the stage where we're going to take it apart now. But, so this is what it's doing. First power up. Oof, jeez. All right, we got to get this thing apart. Okay, I got the screws up. It looks like I got to break the warranty seal or inspection seal or whatever. All right. Most of it is on little plugs. Unplug mostly everything. cut a couple cable ties, but it looks like from the beat cut switch, it is not, it's soldered in place. So I'm taking this video here to remember where to put it, and I'm gonna have to cut the wires for now so I can get this back separated. Well, some good news, the big plastic piece that's missing up top and the little peg sticks up for the screw, they're all present. However, the tuning dial cord, one of the pieces up there is broken off. I have to figure out how to repair that. That said, reading about it and now having it, I can comment on my thoughts on it so far. Yeah, I see what they mean. The inside's mostly empty and the circuit board up top is very sparse. There's not much on it. There's the amplifiers. Let's see what we got. So it looks like we have two mono amplifiers. Number is TBA 810P, and they're both good for 7 watts each. One for each channel. That's actually very good. Pretty impressive there, actually. So looking at the electrical characteristics of it, it looks like at 4 ohms load, it's good for 5.5 watts minimum and 6 watts typical. And trying to follow the output power versus supply voltage curve, that's about it. I would assume that these are about 6 watts per channel RMS proper on this, which is actually really good. So here's a better close-up view of it. So as you can see, it's just a dual inline package amplifier with a heat spreader on it, big giant copper heat sinks. So the woofers, 4 ohm, 20 watt. Ooh, they actually have pretty nice big cloth surround. Tape transport. But yeah, the build quality I can see of this is, unfortunately, it is indeed low end, but it's still a jumbo boombox. How can you not? It's a messes with you. And the thing is, it actually has 2 left and right microphones. It has 2 actual tweeters. Okay, this confirms some things. October 27th, 1984. It has a Matsushita motor. Interesting. A lot of them are Malbucci motors. All right, taking the tape deck apart for the first time. It's not something I even recognize. It's not a Tanishin. I think I know who may have made it, as in similarities, but I don't know the manufacturer. But yeah, I don't know who made this tape deck. But as I started tearing into it, it got really interesting. That is a cigarette butt that was jammed underneath the erase head and play record head. And the only way that could have been shoved in there is if you took the tape deck apart. Like as you see, I took off the actual keys you push from the outside. And no idea how that got in there. Someone had to take this apart because if you look in the middle of your screen, there's a spring there that is not connected. See, I'm going to try to do it, but I had to stop because I had to stop the camera and use 2 hands. But someone popped the spring off. The spring's there, but it wasn't lifting the heads up. So the only way you could get to all this, first there's a black cover that covers the whole tape deck you got to take off. Then you have to take off the push keys down there in order to shove that cigarette butt into there. Who knows how long that cigarette butt's been there. It didn't even smell anymore. And as you see, I got the spring popped back in place. And now look, it's lifting the heads. What happened? Why? Why would you take the tape deck apart and do that? So, underneath, let's see, here's your cam gear. So yeah, it is indeed a feather touch deck. So one other thing I'm going to do, I have it apart, put a drop of oil on the top bearing of the motor. This zoom spout, or very thin, light oil, like sewing machine oil. Now this is even stranger. The pinch roller was missing its little plastic peg to hold it in place. As you can see in the middle of it now, there's a screw. You can use a screw or that peg. I don't know where the peg is, so That's the screw out of another cassette deck, so it's the proper dimensions, and it's a self-tapping screw, so it worked out perfectly. Now the pinch roller works. What happened in this thing? Okay, so it is the next day. So in addition to super gluing the pieces back together on the insides, I also put JB Weld for extra strength. Now, that said, tape deck, I have the belt measurements, but turntable needles is down because I can't log in because apparently it says they've been iced out due to this winter storm. So we'll wait and see. In the meantime, I'll leave this tape deck like this for now. And I'm going to work on some other areas here. Like I'm going to try to fix the dowel string. Okay, it was a complete success with the dowel cord. The one that's broken was right here, and to fix it was just super glue and just don't touch it for a day. And as long as you don't put too much stress on it, it'll be fine because I've done this before and other things. So as you can see, I'm turning the tuning dial. It's moving. Everything looks good. And it lines right up. So that's fixed. All right, so what's happening here is this aluminum piece here, the tuner dial needs to be re-glued back on. But here is the plastic lens in front of the tuner dial, which was also loose. It had fallen off. As you can see, it's just full of paint speckles. So what I found to do on this, Simple Green does a very good job at removing paint speckles. Now, you see right there, I did a part 2 of this, and I ran it through the ultrasonic cleaner with Simple Green for 30 minutes. And if there were any remaining paint speckles, a plastic razor blade was able to completely remove them. So I'm not done quite yet. I believe that was the part that was still sticking up out of the Simple Green because the ultrasonic it's a big one, but it's not like super big. We want to get like a really large one. And there it goes. Off we go. Simple Green for another 30 minutes. Except I forgot to reset the counter and it's at 3 minutes there, so ignore that. And here it is. Everything where paint speckle is removed and novused. Now I gotta glue it back in. Went to put this assembly back, and then that peg broke. One near center of your screen. So that one's being glued. Luckily that doesn't have a lot of weight on it, so it'll be okay. Yeah. The only other unfortunate thing I'm finding is the paint that's been splattered on everything else, like right here. It's been on there for so long that it's not coming off without damaging what's underneath, you know, the good stuff. So, luckily, after cleaning up, it's not going to be too bad, especially since I'm painting the speaker grills. That'll really offset it. I mean, it's really not too bad. I mean, this is still dirty. I have not cleaned the outside of here yet. So, that's my next step. Start cleaning this portion. One thing interesting I found, right behind this little block diagram here, once I took all the components out, look what I found. There is a blank there in the shape of a cassette. And next to it's a tiny little rectangle, which means there was a slot loading cassette deck on another model, which means this could have been a dual cassette unit. And you can see the mounting holes for it, which aren't even used, as well as little guides to run the wiring and everything. So there's another variant out there with a slot loading cassette on it. And here are the speaker grills repainted. And this includes the microphones and the tweeters. And new speaker grills installed. And will definitely improve the overall look of this thing. Alright, speakers cleaned up the best that I could. And yes, they are indeed 8-inch woofers. This is starting to look pretty good. And I'm not even done with it yet. Looks a lot better than when I first got it, that's for sure. GPX. And on the back cover, I had to repair the left side handle. Somehow that was a side that was busted and it was broken loose. So some JB weld shall take care of that. So put it on, slid it down, and any excess I just wiped off. But it worked, it's holding. Back cover all cleaned up. This is the inside. There's the power transformer. And you can see another variant of it mounted on the two posts up top. See, that was a something Taiwan. It was a Taiwanese transformer. Don't know who made it. But yeah, wiped it all out. It's cleaned up now. And you can see right here the two antennas tied together. So belts came in from Turntable Needles today. Square belt small, 8.9 inch. Square belt real, 5.6 inch for the tape counter. Let's do this. So first thing we'll do, we're going to put a drop of oil on the capstan bearing. And it'll suck it right down in. Naturally clean the capstan once it goes through because it'll have oil on it. But in the meantime, you put it in there and, well, actually it's not going to go because that's there. Yep, might as well keep going in. Oh, I don't have the one piece in. So some assembly required. All right, let's see what we got here. That one in the middle of your screen is perfectly square. That one there is twisted. We gotta fix that. Belt is now perfectly square on it. All the way around. Okay. So now, put a dab of grease on this. And let me see, how's this riding there? Put some grease on this. Give a little help. All right, so I'm just trying to follow the path here. Like, eventually, yeah, eventually just smooth itself in. The screw that holds in the thrust bearing plate is also part of the soft eject mechanism, which screws in here. So you can see it's quite dampened. And this right here just screws on right there, right there. But you see what I mean? Only to get a cigarette butt in there, in this position. I mean, you have to take this part out or shove it in there or something. Either way, this would have come out of the machine to do that. This spring right here is popped out. Why, I don't know. This was missing. That's fixed now. So now I'm going to install the tape counter belt. Repeat the same process for the tape counter belt. Make sure it's nice and square. And it is, not twisted. Tape counter works. So now I'm gonna get the power supply, AKA the back of the unit, hook it up and power it on and make sure everything mechanically works. Extreme towel close-up. Just so I have more room to work on the tape deck, I have it flipped around than what it should be, but set into play. Soft touch controls. And it works. Now let me do something here. One thing to always make sure of, many old tape decks use rubber tires on their idler wheels. And look at me, I just told you guys to clean the oil off the thing, and look what happened. It got all over the pinch roller. Now I gotta clean that. Totally forgot. So, anyways, stall it. Now you see how, for a second, the rubber in the center, it was slipped. It needs to run, but I'm gonna clean it good with some rubber cleaner anyways. But it's working correctly. Normally, if there's a problem, if you stall this, that white piece underneath that's turning won't be turning, and that idler wheel, the rubber idler wheel, will just be spinning, slipping. Okay, that confirms that works. Here's fast forward. It's nice and strong. We've got to make sure auto stop works. Oh, weird. This is not even though it's a feather touch deck, it's not a full auto stop. And I should have seen that. It's pressure. So it's only at the end of play. So it's weird. It's not a full auto stop, yet it's a feather touch deck. Interesting combination. Yeah, I should have seen that there. I don't know why I didn't pick up on it when I was talking to her. See, it's working fine. All functions work on the tape deck. Next step, let's get cleaning up on it. So let's take care of the pinch roller here. Accidentally got grease all over it, or oil all over it. The very thing I told you to watch out for, I just did. Frowned upon. I'm not too concerned. I just want to get the oil off. I'm going to lightly sand it. Just a light sand. Do not let it touch the capstan. This is probably the first time this deck has been powered on and used correctly in decades. Alright, so that completely cleaned it. I took this, some isopropyl alcohol, got the rubber dust off of it. Now it's like a brand new pinch roller. No need to worry about it being glazed over and slipping when you least expect it. But that aside, it wasn't that bad in terms of oxide particles or whatever tape formulation they were playing in here. Now take it one step further and use rubber rejuve on it. Okay, I put rubber rejuve on the idler tire, which is in perfect condition, and rubber rejuve on the pinch roller. Now, nice and grippy, like it's supposed to be. I mean, it's already nice and grippy once you lightly sand it. This is just an extra step I take. It makes it look better. Okay. Perfect. Anyways, I got the rubber rejuve on the idler tire. Now I'm going to stall it. See what's happening there? The rubber idler tire stalled too. All right. Demagnetizing the tape head. Like how it's buzzing through the speakers. Okay, first time playing a tape. Looks like might be playing too fast, I don't know.
The Sherbrooke Twins by Catherine
No, that
Carter.
sounds pretty close.
October 21, 2003. To my doctor.
Gotta do the flex. 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 Gotta do the flex.
It's nice and steady. I don't even know what song this is on Twisted Knees album. Oh no! We're not listening to that. Alright, adjusting the tape speed. Start off around 960 hertz, so it was slightly noticeably slower than what it should be. It allowed about a 1% tolerance before you notice anything. And I got it pretty close. There's going to be slight variance as you see, but well, that's good enough for 1 kilohertz.
Because he and Jason had been fighting with swords, and Jason had flattened his sword button against James's gullet, and James had grabbed his neck and flailed about. All drama and no style, Jason told him later. He'd lost his footing and tumbled down the hill, his brother's yells blasting. "You stupid bloody bleater! Don't you dare kill yourself."
One thing you'll notice between this and, say, the ABA Jumbo is, even though it's supposedly a clone of this, the main circuit board is slightly different. And as this one has 2 mono amplifiers on dual inline packages, that one has a single heatsink with what looks like a single inline package amplifier. And the woofers are slightly different. So, because I'm saying this because they're saying in the review of that one that it doesn't put out much bass, but the GPX one, I'm really shocked. This thing puts out a lot of low-end bass. I was really, really surprised. You see, when I was restoring this, and you know, when I first got it, I didn't hear it for the first time until like just a couple days ago after I got it running. And I was expecting it to be mediocre performing, but no, not at all. It's a weird combination of very good and slightly cheap on some things, but definitely not GPX grade. Despite the circuit boards being very sparse, like I saw, it works very well, and it sounds great. I was really surprised. The only weak spot I would say is the recording. Yes, it is AC bias, which is a rarity for a GPX, but it's okay. It's definitely not the greatest recording quality. But then again, I only try with normal bias. So yes, as you may have seen behind this block diagram here, another model of this would have had a slot loading tape deck. I can't find anything else that looks like this. It could be just one of those that typical play and fast forward, or it could be an auto reversing one. I don't know. But early form of having dual cassettes, that's how they used to do them. So now on to the demonstration. So on with the demonstration here.
Its powerful technology actively finds and invites.
So yeah, the only thing I would say this is weak on is the stereo separation's not that great. It's there, but you can hardly tell. That's the only thing. But that is said, here we go. FM reception.
The party is over.
Along with Michelle, you have Corey Henry for a gospel influence.
She's a woman to me.
Oh, weird, the station quit. How did that happen the other day?
I didn't want to leave you.
And that's, as mentioned, that's not a VU meter, that's a power meter. So if I have the volume down low, it's not going to really respond.
The game to an extra period better than the Penguins have.
Yeah, I feel like
The king of sportsbooks.
See BetMGM.com.
And Beaver County Radio.
This time, you're a little late.
Set letters out to
Wow.
No idea.
Walking into.
No idea.
All right, that's very cool. All right.
This value menu is a big deal, or rather, it's 10 big deals from New Way.
It's way fresher than detergent.
So I'm kind of up in the air on it.
It out for thousands in prize money.
End of the scale. So yeah, you heard the low end bass on that thing right back there. Too bad I can't play more of that. But this thing, it's not what you'd expect. I was really surprised. So let's try shortwave. I don't think I've done any boombox demonstrations with shortwave yet. I don't know what I'll pick up. I'm not going to try to adjust the antenna or anything. Very noisy. Beeping sound there. Pretty much every part where the signal light comes on is a station. But again, I'm not trying to adjust anything. This is the quick demo. Let's try shortwave 1. I think I had better luck with that when I tried it the other night. So let's try this. There's that beeping again. I mean, I know this is probably fairly obvious, but I never really messed with shortwave band that much. So you obviously know it's for some equipment somewhere. But I'm not that familiar with shortwave.
La salud y el bienestar del paciente, no matar a una persona. Que ejerza su objeción profesional y su objeción de conciencia. Él es un médico. Okeechobee, Florida, in the United States of America.
The other night I was picking up a lot more. Let's try AM.
Warm and to help captured moments of your videotapes, photos, and even film reels into perfectly preserved digital files. Legacy Box is the easiest resolution to do. In minutes. Just fill your Legacy Box, send it in, and we'll send it back with your memories perfectly preserved. Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos. All the work is done right here in the USA, and over 1 million customers have trusted Legacy Box. Let's kick off the new year right by rescuing your memories that haven't been watched or enjoyed in years. Order your Legacy Box today. Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off. legacybox.com/value.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.
At Steve LaSalle High School, Gal was charged and arrested after an investigation by Mount Lebanon police, school officials, and other law enforcement agencies. Mount Lebanon police believe Gall also worked in the Ringgold School District. They have contacted the Washington County DA's office for follow-up. Allegheny County DA Stephen Sapala says he has accepted a plea deal in the drug death of a 5-year-old girl. Samantha McMahon pled guilty to a charge of involuntary manslaughter in the death of her 5-year-old.
You see, I rotated the box, got a lot better. So yes, that was just a real quick demo of the tuner. I wasn't trying to pull in as much as I did. Besides, majority of the time I'm mostly on FM anyways. But I was just like a quick demo. Hey, what can we pick up on the spot without messing with the box? Trying to pull in stations. So, let's go on to the next big one. Cassette operation. No boasting at all about soft eject or automatic level control. Do a test of the built-in microphones. Wait for the leader to pass. Testing the GPX Model 992 Jumbo Boombox. Left microphone record, test, test. Right microphone record, test, test. let's see how that came out. And as you saw from when I added a part, it's only auto stop and play and record, but not fast forward or rewind. A very odd combination here. So let's see how playback does. Here, the cam gear engage right there. For the leader pass. Testing the GPX Model 992 Jumbo Boombox. Left microphone record, test, test. Right microphone record, test, test. Let's see how that came out. So, typical for built-in mic, unfortunately it does pick up some motor noise or tape transport noises, but that's why you have external mics. The built-in mics are just for convenience. But also, mind you, if you're in a loud environment, the tape noise won't matter, and it'll probably sound just fine. This is how they all were. So, let's try to find something off of the radio.
Tax refund. Get money sooner with a no-fee refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-Do.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Did you know Allegheny County provides funding to support caregivers?
Refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt.
On this loan, there's a money today guarantee. E-I-E-I-Do.
Don't settle for chicken feed. Get fast bucks at Jackson Hewitt today. No-fee refund advance loans by Republic Bank offered to eligible clients. Money today guarantee if approved for a loan on a prepaid card. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Did you know Allegheny County provides funding to support caregivers? Because caregivers deserve help too. The Area Agency on Aging is ready to support you as you care for your loved one. Our caregiver support programs offer personalized care plans, reimbursement for qualifying caregiving expenses, support groups for caregivers like you, and more. You help them, let us help you.
So I am curious. Let me try it with a chrome tape, see how well it sounds.
That's 13 chances to win the cash just for listening.
The 13K payday on Big 104.7.
Another chance to win is coming up at 10 after.
Big 104.7 traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's.
And we're still finding things jammed on the Parkway East inbound Wilkinsburg to the Squirrel Hill tunnels. Outbound pretty solid Beechwood Boulevard to Edgewood, Swissvale.
On Big 104.7.
Another chance to win is coming up at 10 after.
Big 104.7 traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's.
And we're still finding things jammed on the Parkway East inbound Wilkinsburg to the Squirrel Hill tunnels. Outbound pretty solid Beechwood Boulevard to Edgewood, Swissvale.
Small season potatoes.
So yeah, even with chrome tape, it's still mediocre recording quality. But hey, at least it's AC bias. However, playback, on the other hand, is a totally different thing. Let's try the tape it came with. It's rather noisy on rewind. But Sly and the Family Stone, greatest hits. I could play about 5 seconds of it. See how well it sounds. Did the tape survive? All right, let's see how we do. Okay, someone recorded over this, and that sounds like pure garbage. So, yeah, this is unfortunately a test tape at this point. So, there's nothing covering the race prevention tabs on this tape. This is and then explain the cigarette butt and everything that was wrong with this tape deck, and no parts missing or damaged makes no sense. Yeah, this tape. Oh, see? The tape's struggling to fast forward and rewind. It's stalled. Yeah, unfortunately, this tape's not even good for testing. It's, oh, the pad came off. Well, either way, even if the pad was good, this tape is not, it's been recorded over, so it's trash. Okay, let's move on to something else. All right, so to finish up this video, we're going to play Twisted Me's The GPX song. But if you notice, the song's more about GPXs that boast all our features and are pure crap and don't apply to this box. But it's still funny to play it on it nonetheless. So...
As we go in the first automatic go for soft DJ. I go from super off on button, I go speakers, black cracks, tweeters. She that's it, that's it, tweeters. I got my road, to be tweeters, as we go in the first automatic go for soft DJ. I go from super off on button, I go speakers, black cracks, tweeters. She that's it, that's it, tweeters. I got my road, to be tweeters, as we go in the first automatic go for soft DJ. I go from super off on button, I go speakers, black cracks, tweeters. She that's it, that's it, tweeters. As we go, in a first automatic go for soft DJ. I go from super off on button, I go speakers, black cracks, tweeters. She that's it, that's it, tweeters. I got my road, to be tweeters, as we go in a first automatic go for soft DJ. I go from super off on button, I go speakers, black cracks, tweeters. She that's it, that's it, tweeters. I got my road, to be tweeters, as we go in a first automatic go for soft DJ. I go from super off on button, I go speakers, black cracks, tweeters.
GPX.
Odor brand, put it on both sides, right where odor hides, before we all die. Don't you blame
So, from a distance, you wouldn't even believe it was a GPX. It's not perfect, but it does sound really good. And it's the Un-GPX. What else can I say? So, thanks for watching. GPX.
Your suit's so funky.
Come on, GPX.